Good afternoon folks, and welcome back to UK Rails and More. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. Today I'm just going to be doing a brief video just to show you how I can apply some scenery to this, which is one of the embankment sessions that I built earlier for the lockdown layout. And all I'm looking at doing is I've got some moss or lichen that I've got from the garden just in the lawn, and we're going to be applying some of that, sticking it down to this embankment section of the temporary lockdown layout. So my idea is I'm going to be using some of this tape, because the whole idea of this is it's just using cheap or free items that basically we can get that you usually have knocking around the house. And the idea is to use what we've got available to us. So for instance, the garden moss or lichen that I've got, where it may not be perfect, as in the stuff that you buy from the supplies companies, it is something that will give an improved visual effect when you're running trains, just on this little test layout. So my idea is basically I'm going to use some of this, and I'm going to utilize the sticky side of it to apply the scenery to. Now you may be asking yourself, how are you going to get that sticky side stuck down? And that would be a very good question. To do that, I'm going to use some of these again. These were the tacks, but you could use anything for it really, I suppose. Pins, anything you've got. And the idea is I'm going to unroll some of this. So sticky side up. So I've got the non-sticky side there, and then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it at the end with the tacks, and that will allow me hopefully to apply some tension to it. And then once I've done that all the way along, then the idea is tack it again at this end, or even round the other side here. And once I've got that tension on it, then I can actually stick it down on the very end here, a non-scenic section, to secure it. So as I say, just come up with this today, so it's very much improvised, which is the whole name of the game with this little lockdown layout. So I'll bring you back in a bit and I'll see how we get on. Bye for now. Okay folks, that went straightforward enough. So as you can see, all I've done there really is this is sticky side here, and I've just used the pins or those little tacks just so that I can run that across to the other end. And then I'm going to tape the ends, so I'll have a sticky surface here to apply the scenery to. I'll bring you back in a sec. Okay folks, so what I've done now is I've just run some tape over the top of those pins over here just to secure it. So we've got non-sticky, and that's all sticky side there. So my idea is now what I'll do is I will run a piece of sticky tape down here to secure this on this lip at the top, and also I'll just put some pins in here, just a few along the way, just where it's just there's a gap there where it's not stuck down, and that should just secure it. Anything where you've got a bit of where it's not perfect here, where it's just pinched it slightly, that'd be okay as well, because when we put the scenery on, it's going to hide that mistake anyway. So I'll do that and bring you back. Okay folks, so I've just run that piece. It's very hard to see this at the top, but basically I've run that piece now just to secure the lip there. So this is non-sticky, and there you've got the sticky side, and I've just applied a few pins in there, if you can see them, just where it was coming away slightly. So now we've got a sticky surface all the way along that hopefully is going to allow us to secure some scenic materials too. I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay folks, so this is the scenic material that I'm going to use just for this purpose. Now the thing is, the scale of it isn't probably perfect, but it will give an overall effect for the purpose of running some trains. And the thing is, you can actually break it down. You can also cut it with scissors once it's on, so you can actually make it quite small. You could also use it in bigger pieces stuck on to make kind of bushes or gauze type things, and you could even put other scenic materials over the top of it as well, and then just trim it as required. So all I'm going to do is just start off by sticking some of this stuff down, and then we can fine tune it exactly how we want it later on. But overall it should give a fairly decent effect, so I'll continue doing a bit of that and then just bring you back in a bit. Okay folks, welcome back. Just to give you an idea, there's the original bit I've got, and now I've started to just apply some of this to the embankment, and it's sticking really well. So just press it on when you've got it. What I'm actually doing is I'm getting the big clump here as it comes from out of the grass, and I'm trying to basically just break it, just knead it apart, tear it. You can't really do with this with one hand, but with the two hands just break it apart, and then once you have done and you've got it nice and flat, then just start applying it, and of course pressing it on nicely as well, and filling in all the gaps with little bits as well as you get to them. So I'll carry on with that and give you a shout back. One thing I will say is when you actually get it, if you can get this, I mean it's just stuff you find in the garden, but what I do is I try and get it from different places. So if you get some of the bits from shaded areas, then you'll find it's more lush and green. Some of the other areas it'll be a slightly different tone as well. And then also if you get some of the roots and the dead stuff that's underneath the grass as well, it just gives you a nice effect where you've got different types of colours going on as you'd get with a real thing. So I'll carry on and give you a shout back. Bye for now. Okay folks, welcome back. As you've guessed, I've made a cup of tea. Apologies for the cup, not quite my choice, but it is the biggest one and the function is most important. Okay, back to the serious stuff. Okay, so there is where we're up to at the moment. If you can see that, I've got something that looks like part of an embankment. What I'm going to do now is, of the stuff I've been breaking about, I'm going to get this and break it up into very, very fine sections. I'm going to try it with tearing it with my hands, then use the scissors a bit as well. And then basically the very fine stuff I've got at the end of it, that'll be even broken up even more than that, I'm just going to use it to plug any little gaps that I can find, so that we've got a good effect. It doesn't all need to be completely stuck down. What we're looking for is for so much of it, so many of the strands are stuck down and it all kind of intermingles anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug some of these little gaps, and then I'll bring you back after that. Okay, speak to you in a bit. Okay folks, all I've done here, just to give you some of the details, I've actually scrunched it all up into a tight pack there. And basically, I can't really show you just with one hand properly, but once you've done it, you hold it tight there and then use the scissors and it just breaks it off into very, very fine little pieces, which is what I'm looking for. Just to, I don't know if you can see that, just breaks tiny pieces. And then I'm just going to use that to pack the sections, bring you back in a bit. Okay folks, so when you've done that for a bit, you end up with this really lovely fine, I don't know how well you can see that if it's focused in, it's a real nice fine scenic material that, as I say, we've just made that from the garden. So I'm just going to use that to plug the gaps. Now the only issue is with all of this is colour wise, it's all natural colours. So how long it'll last, whether it will fade more, I don't know. That's just something we'll have to see. It may go a darker shade or a lighter shade rather as it fades. But again, that'll just create another effect, almost like a summer effect, I suppose, on the embankment. So yeah, I'll give you a shout when I've done that. What the next thing I'm going to do as well is just trim any of the, it's hard to see, but any of the straggling bits, just trim them, because obviously it would look, I don't know if you can see that, if you've just got on some of the videos when I've played them back, have a look at any of the videos and you'll see, but you get things like that sticking up, and I suppose scale wise, when you put that against a loco, it can look a bit unnatural, whereas the overall effect when we look along it should look a lot more natural, especially once we've we've cut some of the stragglers down, so it just makes it look a little bit more realistic. Okay, I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay folks, welcome back. Just to let you know what I've done whilst you've been away is I've just done a slight improvement as well. I've used the same technique using the pins and some upended parcel tape on the top, and what that's going to do, I've secured it around the back as well with tape just to secure it. So I've got the sticky side up, it's pinned, it's tensioned at either end. And what that's going to do is it's just going to help the track stick down a little bit better. I'll still use the pins afterwards, but that will just help give it that little bit of extra security. Okay, and I've also trimmed the embankment as well, so we've got that nicely trimmed. Now at this end, really just to show you what it looks like on a flat area or the top of a hill, I've basically just got some of the sticky tape and I've just applied some of the same scattering to the top to give you that bed. So I'll bring you back once I've got the track relayed. See you in a bit. Okay folks, welcome back. So all I've done basically is just restuck the track on, which has now got the adhesive or the tape, which will hopefully just give it a little bit more security, and it's also pinned as well. Okay, there's the embankment. If you want to know how I've built the actual main cardboard structure of the embankment, that's in the, I believe, the lockdown layout build 1 or 2. So yeah, that shows how I've just built this structure. Okay, and then we've just got the end is where I just demonstrated the top as well. How you could just have it on the flat. Obviously that would be ready for some ballasting, and there's no point in putting that material underneath the track bed where you're going to ballast. Hopefully that's been some help. The only thing I would probably do if I had it would be spray some PVA, a light PVA glue on the top just to bond it, but hopefully that should be quite secure. As you see there, it's okay, if you can see, that's upside down. Okay, and it's fairly secure. Okay folks, if you watched this far, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully that's given you an idea of what you can do in terms of building embankments with just basic household items and garden items for the scenery. If you want to know how I actually built the structure of the embankment, the cardboard structure, that's in one of the earlier lockdown layout build videos, so please have a look at that as well. That's an video image of the Midland Express Quebec locomotive from the Midland Express train set. And that's one of the earlier videos as well, so feel free to check that out. Thanks very much to anyone who's subscribed, recent subscribers and longer term subscribers. Coming up, there'll be another review later on in the week, and also I'm going to look at doing some additional detailing of this embankment as well, so just giving some additional detail and possibly at some kind of underpass access road going between the two fields underneath. So I'll wrap it up there, but thanks very much for watching, and until next time, stay safe and I'll speak to you again. Bye for now.